Third in.
And there's a lot of people here.
A scene, I'm guessing.
Stairs,
Yeah,
maybe?
that's a scene.
Ah.
Alright, let's see here.
Also, I can barely see that door there. It's faint.
Yeah.
The door blends in with the wall, like you can't escape.
There are other people here than the ones I put here.
There'd be a lot of knights.
Indeed.
What a lovely set of people in a monochrome world.
We have... It certainly is a bustling, although, I mean... No. Yeah, these are the people that are here right now, along with a lot of others. The man over here, he's sort of old, seems to be sort of have a... He has a nice like half plate armor. The man here seems to be a clear Dornisman. This guy doesn't seem to be really from here, and he seems very sly. This guy seems sort of pompous, and this guy seems to be sort of a little brutish and a little angry right now, berating the other guy.
Is there an innkeeper in sight?
Yes. You sort of met with one when you walk in.
Sure. We will then ask for room and board.
Oh, most certainly there's rooms.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
Right upstairs. I'll give you rooms enough for everyone.
Wonderful. Can we get rooms next to each other?
Sure.
Good.
I'll be a cell piece.
You will need to keep an eye out.
That's for food and room.
How much?
A silver piece per person for food and room for a few days.
Sure. Fine.
You paying for all of it again, Jonas?
I can pay.
You can pay. Do you want to pay?
I can pay.
You rolled well.
I have money. I'm
Yeah.
gonna buy a better horse, though. I don't want that to run away again.
Now you see why I didn't pay for the 150 one, but the 600 one.
Mm-hmm. I'll go and buy a 600 one for myself, I think.
I don't have enough money.
Yes, that's a bustling.
Pay for it.
You don't immediately seem to be recognized by people.
Right,
You know,
good.
I'm okay with this.
That is
Yeah.
perfectly fine. Let's get our stuff sorted. You know,
Sort our shit out.
I'll when that is done, an hour or so in, Anomander will ask around a little bit with the barkeep or people in tavern, get the lay of the land, basically.
Sure, I mean, lots of people have come to the place. I mean, there are people from all over the realm gathered for the tournament, and I mean, some say that the king's even going to participate as a masked knight. But of course, well, he hopes not, because whenever the king does, it's a boring tournament, as nobody would dare to hurt the king.
We're gonna send Harkus up to smack the king.
Because the problem is, if you defeat the king, what do?
He's a legendary with his warhammer. Or at least used to be.
He's got Rusty in his eye.
I say if we get to fight the king, you should go all out. Just smack him into
Just fucking
submission.
kill him.
Don't
Not quite kill him, but like...
handily beat him.
If you kill the king, we have a new problem.
Yeah,
don't
just
kill
put
the
him
king.
into submission.
Although I think Cersei would be incredibly pleased.
Wait, technically, these people that have been ruining our reputation, they'll be happy.
You would be known as the Kingslayer,
I
too.
would.
I mean,
Yeah.
We may also have to throw you.
I'll just have to beat him into submission instead of murdering him, yeah?
So what do you say? You sit down? Yeah, you can certainly do
Yeah.
that. Get some food
Sits down
for the bath.
after we have getting a bath and sort of all things.
Harkus
I'm
wants
gonna
to...
wear a full plate while walking around here.
Harkus wants to go and sign up. So he's not sat down. He's anxious. He wants to get things done.
we're going to go tomorrow, don't worry. You need
Fine.
to polish up and stuff.
Go get a bath, for God's sake.
You
Had a
see
bath.
a boy
Had a
is
bath.
a little, sort of a 8-year-old is peeking in the door, looking at Nadia from behind.
No?
What? What?
Just a little boy
Peeking in from where?
The door.
from the
A
door.
door.
Over here.
Oh, okay.
He then looks to Anomander,
Yeah.
to Nadia.
Anomander turns around, looks at the boy,
Yeah, what?
sort of motions him
Boy?
to come closer.
Yeah.
Gets back from the grave.
He steps forward and says, hello, are you Anomander Trevelyan?
He nods. I am.
And sort of moves in and hugs Anomander and says, I found you finally, Dad.
Nadia just...
Everyone sort of looks over.
Anomander sort of looks down at him, sighs visibly, makes the boy unhand him quite gingerly, checks
Boy
his
sort of
pockets.
looks
So
and
he's,
I've finally found you. My mother told me that you were my father for so long ago, and I heard that you were in the city now, and I finally found you. I've been living
Yeah.
in Flea Bottom, Dad.
yeah,
Nadia's just smiling.
yeah, I don't know.
Harkus is clearly trying not to laugh.
I'm replacing one of the 2s with a 6 for my bonus die.
Are you rolling there?
I'm rolling empathy to see what kind of stunt he's pulling on me. So that would be a
14.
14.
14. All right. He seems to be very good at this.
Yeah. Anomander does check so the boy hasn't stolen any of his money or stuff.
I'll be here with you now. You will take me with you back home to the rest of my family, right? He seems very happy that he's finally found you. So teary-eyed.
I do.
They call me Neil. Rivers. You probably don't remember my mother. Died a few years ago. She always told such kind things about you when you were here.
What was your mother's name?
Come on. You don't remember?
He looks
We
down
don't.
at him.
Rosa.
Rosa. Well, let me tell you a thing or two.
About a thing or two.
Intrigue, deception about Rosa.
Oh,
God.
We all just stare at you laughing.
Few people seem to look at you and smile, sort of happy that something good is happening.
yeah, finally something good has happened. That would be a 8, 10, 13 to remember a Rosa.
He's probably met sometime.
A woman in
Never really
Fleabag
been romantically involved with one.
8 years ago.
No,
No.
that he remembers.
Yeah. Well, that's awkward. Has the kid stolen anything from him if he checks his pockets?
Not the sort of noticed, no.
Is the letter of entering Harkus into the tournament still in his pocket?
Yes.
Good.
So
Is the
What about my letter?
Are you?
You're automatically in.
Are you my cousin?
he will look at the boy and say, "My dear boy, I think someone has told you very high stories indeed. I don't recall your mother at all." I'm afraid to say.
She said you might not.
I have also not been in King's Landing for over a decade, and you don't seem to be older than, sort of looks the boy up and down, 6, 8 at the most.
I don't know if you met her here. She never told me that. But she told me that you were kind to her. One of the only men.
Right. Well,
I
we definitely
don't-
got the wrong person.
It wasn't long, she said.
Nadia smiles. Can't be you then.
Anomander grimaces. He looks at the kid. You know what, kid? You can surely stay in the stable while we're here,
Just
and maybe I shall talk
the
to you a little bit.
stable.
Maybe I can talk to you a little bit further.
Can't let your son stay in the stable.
Who said
Uh-huh.
that? Who said
Just a
that?
man.
Just-
Looking over.
Harkus will just laugh
And-
at
and-
You've
that.
just found him after so many years. You owe him at least that much.
Anomander glares daggers at the man.
Oh, the 7.
Harkus will look to at Anomander and go, as funny as I think this is, I think
I don't even have money to eat anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
maybe throw him a few silver. and
The
get him on
people
his
I ask for money, they hurt me sometimes.
Well, if you go around saying you're everyone's kid,
way.
Because I'm not.
Does he even look anything like Anomander?
I mean, it's hard to tell as it's bald.
Okay, you can imagine
certainly has
Anomander
dark
with
hair.
hair.
does
Assume
the
he
kid
has-
look like Nadia?
Not a lot. He's much dirtier. Not like super dirty, but
Does he look like any form of Trevelyan?
I mean, he-
You know, I am feeling exceptionally generous towards this incredibly pathetic-looking kid.
Just give him like a couple silver.
And you know, Anomander will throw a silver over to the barkeep to ask him to go and get the kid cleaned up in a bath or something.
he'll go do that.
He'll sit down, mumble to himself.
So,
Bloody kids.
Rosa,
So, stories you did not tell us.
Ah! He waves a hat.
I didn't know you had it in
The
you.
kid has made it up, of course. I've never been together with a woman named Rosa.
Of
Who
course.
says the kid made it up?
So, well, presumably because he has been sent here perhaps by the Fox Knight or House Dennett to spy on us, of course. Or this is simply his way of trying to bluff his way into our good graces.
Possibly a little bit of both.
Nadia smiles to herself. Too bad it was not my kid, huh?
I'd be
Indeed.
very surprised.
I'll have a more in-depth talk with the kid later on.
Sure.
See if I can learn.
Let us continue the day.
Yeah, well, we'll eat, recover for a bit. If the kid comes back, Anomander will take him to a secluded spot in the bar. If there's none, he will take him to his room and he'll talk to him, trying to figure out what the hell he's doing.
Just scare the kid. Do it.
The kid is happy to finally have found his dad, so he can be
Yeah.
taken away from this terrible city where people hurt him all the time.
All right.
It's terrible.
He doesn't seem to have
I
been sent by anyone.
didn't know.
Not that you can sort of tell, at least.
I mean, I will certainly engage in,
He's heard
intrigue
about
with
the
him to
family, too.
try to figure out what does he want? Like what is his angle here? I want to figure out if this is something he's trying to just get away
Seems
from.
absolutely certain.
He seems absolutely certain
Himself.
himself.
Wow. That's impressive.
Better get a new token.
I guess.
A little token of you.
I guess just
Get on
shrink
that.
down Arwin one degree and we have him.
Yeah.
Oh, well, kid.
You're
I
pretty
guess
certain it's not true, though.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, it's not. I mean, someone has told him. He will continue to talk to him. Like, who has told him this? Was it actually his mother? Was it anyone else? Has he
His
seen?
mother, but mostly also his uncles
Yeah.
His uncle,
who
yeah.
live there with.
And he will ask the name of the uncles and see if he can record the name of the uncles.
Sure. And he might recall some of them once, but never people he's really dealt with much.
Yeah. Basically, someone has told this kid a whole cloth story about him for some reason.
Yeah,
And it seems to go back a few years. Like, this is not something he has come up with, now.
It seems to come back a few years.
You know what would be the easiest way to deal with this? Just play along with it until we have to leave, and then say, "Look, we're leaving in the afternoon.
Peace.
We're leaving in the afternoon, and actually leave at dawn."
The poor kid standing there with huge eyes. He's so happy he's finally gonna go away from here, and then just no one comes to pick him up.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be honest, someone has put a cruel trick on him.
Oh, poor kid.
be like, "We're
no,
leaving-
someone
we're leaving
someone
from
probably. I think the most likely thing is someone has heard of Anomander, from years back, and he has told the kid stories to just lift his spirit and trying to. Yeah, it's all coincidental and a terrible mistake, of course. Maybe if the kid turns out to be useful, if the kid turns out to be a good kid, maybe I can adopt him.
Yeah.
You're saying you want to take a warden?
Yeah, I can take a warden.
Sure.
I'll teach him. I'll teach him how to assassinate things.
And suddenly he doesn't want to be with you anymore.
Yeah. If you are to come with me, you must learn. Learn how to kill.
I shall teach you how to lie and deceive.
Nadia, can we swap seats?
Then cut.
But didn't Manaki say that he was very good at what he did?
Yes.
Yeah, so
seems
he's
like-
already
or
deceiving.
he is actually very sure of himself.
Yeah. All right.
I think
that's-
he's lying.
He might.
He is lying, probably.
But if I can't figure it out, I'm pretty good at.
He's
damn
got a
good.
knack for it, so.
I'm pretty good at this, and I think actually the kid believes what he's saying. Doesn't make it true, of course, but
Yeah.
if the kid behaves, I might take him with us on the way back. We'll see.
This is gonna be bad.
We'll see.
We'll see. Anyway, we've got a tournament to deal with, people.
We do.
So,
Also, being close to this man, you notice that he has a very nice sword at his side.
It's the
Could
Valerian
be Valerian steel.
I don't think so.
it could be. He is a knight.
He's sort of very thin, and he seems to be sort of has a few scars. He seems to be sort of looking at an tested fighter. He's talking to two of his countrymen, looking sort of around at the door a lot.
Yeah. I mean, we could talk to everybody here, but I see that taking a very long time. And
It would be weird.
it would be weird just to go up to everybody and just talk to them.
Yeah, we can mingle around. We're new here. We want to learn our and learn our get to know our competition, if nothing else.
Sure. Can do.
Yeah, and sometime during the evening or whatever, if these people are still around.
During the evening, they seem to be here. Yeah,
Yes,
Like all the time.
this guy has left at that point.
sure. And a man will mingle around.
Nadia.
Let's see, who was... Oh, I'll talk to Mr. Horty. Why not?
Sure, he's just sitting here looking around, rolling some dice in his hand.
Sure. Well, the man can play a little bit of dice and maybe talk to him, see if he can...
I'll look over to the rest and says, the rest of your people not coming?
No. They are... They don't... I don't think they appreciate... He sort of smiles. Games of strategy and chance. They are more... into martial, I suppose.
So is my dear lord brother.
Oh, was that the man I saw earlier? The imposing fellow with the loud voice?
Yeah, he's going to participate in the tournament. I'm more here to, back him up, if need be.
Sort of looks him up and down. You don't seem to be a fighting man, pardon me saying so.
Not particularly not. I've been told that a lot from my life.
Anomander smiles slightly and says...
What about you? House Trevelyan, is it? Not far from where we are. And he reveals a little sigil on his sort of arm, his what's it called, sleeve,
Yeah.
showing another sigil.
And what sigil is that?
Yes, let me find a picture. That sigil. So you came through the God's Gate then?
It is true, yes. We were held up for quite a bit, it seems.
Tell me about it. He referred you here as well?
He did. He seemed a gregarious sort.
This is his...
Would Anomander recognize it?
He can... Yeah, he will recognize it. It's close enough. It's House Logus.
Logus.
Yeah. Lugus.
Logus. House Logus, yes. I do recall that you are fairly close to our holdings as well.
No, it's...
Well, it is good to meet a friendly face here then.
Yes. Far from home. It was a long trip.
It was.
Glad we left early. We've been here for about a day now. Sort of a lot to see. My brother doesn't care for it, though.
Oh, he is single-mindedly focused on his task at hand, I imagine.
Yes, I thought about taking the archery tournament, but so I'm not good with the bow either, really. Is there a point to entering if you're just gonna have no chance of winning?
I would think not. It is more interesting to do what I would do: talk to some people, get to know a few new.
It doesn't look so interesting. What about the others? We should get to know them as well. The little one calls over. Hey, hail, House Trevelyan. I'll buy you a round. Come over here. Take place.
Looks too bad.
Farkas gets up.
Well.
Free drink.
He seems friendly. He's already super drunk.
No, he doesn't
You will
drink
also
heavily.
remember that their words are drink and live last.
Drink live last.
You know, that's not the worst thing to have.
Mm-hmm.
Another minor house. And they often teased as their ancestry is close to that of the Freys, and they too have a lot of sons and cousins, and just their line is full of men, and they don't know what to do with all of them.
Very fertile, basically. Well, he's not a
Always
goose,
looking for marriages and such.
so that's good. Yeah, sure. The Anomander will present the others. Lord Aiden Trevelyan, Arwin Maltren, and Harkus Drayden.
They'll bow and sort of reach to shake Aiden's hand and say, "I believe you're the heir then."
I didn't will shake his hand. Yes, I am.
He has a light handshake. Fine hands. It's just,
Sure. I don't judge.
You have quite the lands down there, Iron, I assume, as far as I know. So smiles.
Yes.
And there's a daughter, get unmarried. I understand. You say it was sort of a jesting.
Anomander smiles and says, "Indeed, she is."
My twin sister, yes.
So you're here to fight in the tournament, then? Then looks at the sword.
You couldn't say no to a good tournament.
Ah. Well, you had any troubles on the road?
Too many.
He nods slowly. Yeah.
It seems like the road had it out for us this time.
Just, met some Iron Men when we left from home. They've been following us for quite some time, although they hit it off when we got to the King's Road. Took down one of my men, one of our men.
That is unfortunate. We have been accosted by someone wearing. He will describe the Fox Knight.
Oh, there's this. I think I saw that guy.
Yes.
Yes, he was traveling just a little behind us most of the time.
Then you are quite lucky to be alive, my friend. The man is a black-hearted villain, if there ever was one.
What have you done? I don't think I've heard much of him. I didn't recognize his sigil, although people certainly did call him the Fox Knight.
Mm-hmm. He will nod and say, he's a mercenary and a criminal. He has been. We believe he has been raiding villages close to our land.
Why would he do such a thing? That seems for the money, I suppose.
Yes, most likely.
Banditry. Why would he travel towards King's Landing then?
Well, it seems that he is here to try to basically whitewash his name from the whole affair. That would be my guess, at least. I would also assume that he's here for the tournament. The reward for winning such a thing is often quite generous, and some of his poor and desolate and astute house would certainly feel right at home with a big reward.
I suppose. Yeah, a tournament might drag many criminal out. Although if you have something on him, then it could be dangerous for him to be here.
How so?
Well, the King's justice. He surely wouldn't dare stay in the city most of the time if people he has dealt with are here.
Perhaps not. The city is large. There's a lot of places for one to hide here. Regardless, if we see him at the tournament, I am sure it will be an interesting meeting. He smiles.
Nothing else. I don't think he's going to be in there. I think he, as far as I know of him, traveled to the edge of the Kingswood.
Could he give a more thorough description?
Well, we entered the city and rode towards the turning ground to sign up immediately. He was there as well, but I don't think he signed up. He continued over the bridge of the Blackwater towards the Kingswood.
Perhaps he went to meet someone.
Or he's camping out there.
Either way.
We could certainly go and take a look. It would be very convenient if we could just find him there and just take care of him.
So if there truly is a villain, then well, I think so. Just says nods towards the wall here and says, "The old knight in there certainly looking for something to do."
So he looks around.
I'll offer my own service if need be. Seems like he's quite the, well, terrible person.
Anomander smiles. Thank you. That is quite generous.
It always sticks me when, well, the men of land act like iron men. My people has quite the grievance with those, being so far near the bay.
Yes, his antics are troublesome, to say the least. This old knight you indicated, what can you tell me about him?
He does not much. He simply seemed to have been here whenever, well, for the entire time we have been here, he's just been sitting there looking at the fire. Haven't spoken to him. Introduced myself, he didn't seem very interested. Perhaps more martial type as well.
I might have a talk with him then, I suppose.
Some men lose senses during wars.
I wouldn't know.
He could be frayed. Too much fighting can do that to one. If you do talk to him, be careful. They can be on a wire's edge.
Don't worry. I'm sure it will be fine.
So, I'll be sticking my nose in all the people's things here. There's nothing better to do. So just, hope you don't mind. Seem like decent people. And I would very much like if my brother was, humiliated in the tournament.
I am sure if that is your wish, I'm sure you can describe his fighting style to my compatriots here, and they will see to it.
Using he looks up at Harkus and Nadia.
Don't tell anyone, but he's quite the brute. He'll likely do the joust. Not really good with the lance, more with spears or swords. So, he did, just aim for the head. So frown slightly.
Avoid the face.
Shugs says, his nose won't look any worse for it.
And the spymaster is once again on the charge.
Shrugs, I don't think he'll win anyway, but might as well have some local talent to tease him about it a little more often.
Harkus chuckles.
Besides, I think he's got his eye on you. He's currently unmarried. So,
Who does he say that to?
Trevelyan, just sort of in general. And the Trevelyan house is known for being fairly wealthy.
I think to win the hand of the Lady Nadia, that you'd have to at least beat the house's champion. He smirks.
I'm sure he'll try. Probably do a decent effort as well.
Nadia looks at him. Nadia's very hard to impress. I will warn you though.
Well, I have no delusions.
It should be a challenge, won't it? It should be
I have no delusions. I have no wish to see such, he wouldn't be a very good husband, I don't think. Certainly isn't a very good brother.
Nadia wouldn't be a good wife.
He sort of chuckles.
So does Aiden. He chuckles. Ha ha ha.
I've heard she's quite something. Wild, and they never see her outside the realm. Doesn't travel much. She's not to pry, of course.
I don't take any.
Why would the lady need to travel?
Yeah.
Obviously, news has travelled far.
Just shrugs. Well, we don't live that far north from where you live.
Harkus shrugs and says, "Far enough to get nobles' ears, it will spread far enough."
Where on the map would they be?
Mm-hmm.
Where on the map would they be?
Change the weapon.
I really need to go and make a cup of coffee, but I don't want to miss stuff that I should be part of.
I think we'll take a break very soon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Stuff.
I am kinda running out of time.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, damn.
They would be up here. About.
I have an hour more
Okay.
at the most.
Could we push an hour and then be done?
We'll talk to some more people then. Yeah.
But the break.
Well, if Jonas only has an hour, then we can't. I mean, you can go. Because Jonas...
Well, I don't want to miss more stuff about
If
me.
you
Jonas wants to talk to
I want to hear what
other
the
guy.
guys have to say about me.
You know, we'll go to Anomander, who talks to
Yeah.
Sir Joris now. So
Okay, then I'll go make coffee.
that's not something your character will know anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah, he will sit down next to the old knight. Does he notice him?
Yeah. You notice him, he sort of gives him a nod.
He will say, "Hey, greetings. I am Anomander Trevelyan."
This is Sir Joris. Pleasure. You show her a strong hand.
Oh, he shakes. Good, sir. I have. It's come to my attention that you are quite the knight on the battlefield.
Some would say so. Say, are you related to this House Trevelyan, you say?
Indeed.
You smuggled iron for Robert during the rebellion.
He smiles slightly and says, "Yes, we certainly did."
Sort of smiles a little bit. Says, I fought with that steel in my own hands.
Anomander smiles, widens. Really?
Says, yeah. At least as I remember it. I've heard your house name quite a few times during my career. Says, let me buy you an ale.
Oh, why, certainly. Thank you. He will drink and talk heartily with the guy a little bit.
He seems to be here to hunt down thieves in the Kingswood.
Anomander will say to him, my dear sir, it seems then it would be quite the luck for us to meet here, because
yes, indeed. I never thanked you. I really had the opportunity to get up there. Quite out of the way, I must say.
Well, using Trevelyan steel in good combat is thank you enough. I should almost say, especially when used for such a worthy cause.
This one says, to the king.
To the king.
Seal.
And drink. Well, my dear Sir Joros, I will confess that I approached you with a matter in mind, and since you have proven yourself such a steadfast friend already, I shall broach the subject. He smiles. There is, House Trevelyan has apparently made more enemies than we were aware of. There is a... Have you heard of House Dennet?
Seems to think it is not particularly.
A smaller house higher up in the hills. It is not terribly important, but it seems that they lately have taken quite the dislike with our house. It seems that someone is trying to either bait them into attacking us, or they are actually themselves having ambitions upon our lands. This is something we have tracked down to a knight called the Fox Knight.
He's at a scowl and says, the Fox Knight. I know of that man. I've been hunting him for years.
Really now? Well,
Disappeared from the area recently. I've been waiting for him to come back. He always seems to come back.
And back he has indeed come, my dear friend, because that villain has been stalking our every move on our journey towards King's Landing. He attacked us blatantly at least once. He has tried to incite Kingsmen to engage with us, and he also killed one of our prisoners.
Yes, and you say these Dennets work with him?
It seems so. It seems that the Fox Knight is arranging for factors to give the Dennets an excuse to present evidence before the king that we have been attacking and slaughtering villagers, peasants, which is of course completely ludicrous.
That is a terrible accusation. He's a man who would do such a thing, though.
Yes, we are. One of the witnesses to the whole affair has been killed already. We have some evidence to back up our claims, but it would be good to grab the Fox Knight.
Yes, he's a very elusive man. They say he first appeared after a tournament, shamed by being defeated in a tournament against Prince Rhaegar.
Hmm.
He turned to madness, ran into the forest, and now only carries his weapon in. Well, says he's known to serve the Targaryens, even though they're no longer here.
Truly a madman.
Truly.
The man has been spotted riding south over the Blackwater towards the Kingswood.
But yes, he lairs in there, between the trees.
In your professional opinion, then, Sir Joris, would you be able to track him down? Is it possible for us to seize him in there?
If we know that he is here right now, if we're absolutely sure, then we might very well.
He nods. We are quite sure. We have credible eyewitness reports.
Yes, we should put together a party then. You, me, whoever else you have of your family here. Well, interested parties. I could track him, but I might need all of your help too. Well,
Subdue him.
we don't know what else is going to be out there. And to be honest, I'm not the best with words and letters. And if there's any such evidence, we might want to see what it is right when we catch him.
He nods. Agreed. Very well. I shall talk to the rest of my house. But then it would be my great pleasure to count on you in this affair, Sir Joris. He reaches out a
Of
hand.
course, if it is to bring down the Fox Knight, I will do. I'll do much. I didn't fight for Robert to allow people like him to go free. So let's shake your hands.
Then we are in perfect agreement. If you'd excuse me, I'd return to my traveling companions.
Sure.
Go back. Sit down with you and basically recapture what he just learned.
Sure.
Lucas said over this as well. That sounds. Suppose I judged the man right then. Sure.
Indeed.
I'll go.
Wonderful.
Got nothing better to do here. As I said, I can use. I'm not tournament stuff, but I can defend myself.
We would be overjoyed to have you along, my friend.
Come on. Not being a criminal. Not something my brother would ever do. You might hire him for the guard.